Hello, friends. Don't mind me. I've got some upbeat music going on right now, and it's kind of got me in the zone. Okay, so today, what are we going to be doing? We finished the live stream series yesterday on Progressive Enhanced Forms, which I thought was... so today, we're doing something else. I asked on Twitter, and I had some really interesting responses. Something that I wanted to do was take a look at Remix Run, which is a new sort of React full stack edge native framework that's very exciting. And some of the responses I got on Twitter were also to create a Worldle clone and to do some accessibility screen reader examples to see how a screen reader reads some web development apps. So we're going to try and tackle all of that over the next, I don't know how many streams. We'll see how far we get. Right now, I just want to get started with checking out Remix. So Remix lives at remix.run on the internet. It's got a really cool website where you can kind of go through and check this out. You can see like websites usually have levels of navigation that control child views. Not only are these components pretty much always coupled to URL segments, they're also the semantic boundary of data loading and code splitting. So I don't know everything that's going on here, but it's pretty cool. Like really interactive, really slick website. Look at this. That's so cool. That's not what we're here for, though. We're here to just dig into it. And I have not done anything with Remix yet, so this is going to be a first take. So I'm going to go to the docs. I did look a little bit over the docs, get an idea of what's going on, but I haven't actually done it. So let's get to it. I'm going to copy that. I guess it's worth saying that the prerequisites to getting this to work is having Node installed and having npm installed for CLI commands. And there's a certain version of npm CLI where this npx command is going to be available. You have to have at least that installed. So this is going to ask me, I need to install the following packages. Yes, we're going to create Remix at latest. I think I probably should have shown that this is an empty directory. So we're just starting fresh with projects I'm going to work on in my streams. And so there's nothing in here. I wish there was an easy way to show you that, but you're just going to have to take my word for it. It's fine. So live coding, slow internet, not a good combination. I guess I could do some cool stuff, like be like, look at that up there. Although, yeah. Let's go. Oh, there you go. It had frozen. So welcome to Remix. Let's get you set up with a new project. Where would you like to create your app? Let's go /Worldle. Call it something like that. That's fine. Okay, so where do you want to deploy? Choose Remix if you're unsure. So it looks like they support Express Architect, which is a really cool project by Brian LaRue. Fly also looks cool. I haven't had a chance to give it a try. Netlify is sweet. Vercel is pretty sweet. Cloudflare Pages and Cloudflare Workers are sweet. So a good little selection of options here. I'm going to go ahead and do the Remix app server because I don't know what I'm doing. Am I doing TypeScript or JavaScript? I'm doing JavaScript, although I will incorporate TypeScript, but I'm going to do it my way. Do you want me to run npm install? Of course. Why wouldn't I? It's just going to take a little bit longer. And in the meantime, got some more interesting music to listen to. I hope that's coming through. I think my microphone does a little bit of noise canceling, but I'm hearing something great. Okay, so cd. Oh yeah, so I can see there's only Worldle in this directory, and we can cd into that World directory. We've got some stuff going on. Cool, and I'm going to open up VS Code in this folder. Cool. What do I want to do first? Actually going to open an old project because I don't want this JS config file here. So okay, I'm going to open up the old project that we had here. And we're going to go to our files. I'm going to copy this ESLint file over, and I'm going to copy this tsconfig file over, and then I think I'm going to need to install. Oh, that didn't sound great. I'm going to need to install some of these. I'm actually going to pull this over to my other monitor that y'all can't see. Ooh. Okay, a beat's coming. Okay, we're going to add some dev dependencies. Oh. No, 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 no. No, 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 too much. Not the right thing. Okay, I tried to do too much. Prettier. JS docs. Prettier. Security. And these are just going to be some ESLint plugins that I personally like to help keep me out of trouble. If you're not familiar with ESLint, check it out. It's pretty cool. It might take a little bit of finagling, but once you get it all set up, it's really nice to make sure that your code follows good formatting. Okay, so that is all set up. And in theory, my project should be looking good. I don't think I need this JS config anymore. Compiler options, paths. I'm going to go ahead and keep it just because I don't know. We might need some of this stuff. I don't want to get too far into the build tooling stuff. So now let's look at Remix. So I've got I guess the next thing that makes sense is going to the quick start. Hey, I'm Derek. Hey, Derek. The Remix compact disc. Whenever you're supposed to do something, you'll see me. Thanks, Derek. Glad to have you around. Okay, so it looks like we've already done these steps. Next, we're going to go to actually running it. npm run dev, is that what it said? npm run dev, yes. We picked our app server already. Wants to go to localhost 3000. And looks like we're on Remix. That's pretty cool. Looks like our app is running. That's great. Looks like something was added that I don't know what. Okay. Next, make sure the post install script runs. That should be fine because we're using npm. My first route. So open up app.root.tsx. Now add a link to posts. Okay, we got app.root.jsx. And looks like we've got, this is going to be the HTML layout. And it's telling me somewhere in the body I want to add a link. So I've got outlet, scroll restoration, scripts, live reload. I have no idea what any of that is. So we're going to go at the top and at the bottom so we can see where things are. Hit save. Okay, looks like ESLint is trying to do some stuff. And in the meantime, we've got some error. That's fine. Application error. Link is not defined. Of course it's not. So we're going to go here, copy that, rename it to link. Go back to our browser, and it looks like we've got our link. Cool. Let's take a look at what this output HTML looks like. Which is another reason why am I interested in doing Remix. So having been a Vue developer for a very long time, I don't love React, but Remix came out and it's sort of following a very, I guess they're adopting React to begin with. I don't know if that's going to change, but their philosophy is to really follow web standards. So doing things kind of the old-fashioned way, but using React to render out on the server a DOM so that we're using like server-side rendering and I guess hydrating some JavaScript where needed, but also being able to opt out of sending JavaScript, which I love. It feels like a combination of Next.js and astro.build, except, can't use whatever web framework I want. All right, so what I want to do here is I know that looking at this code, I've got my HTML layout or structure, and I've got my head and I've got my body, and I don't know what this meta or what this links is. I don't know what outlet, scroll restoration, or scripts or live reload is. I do know what this is. Oops, I do know what these are. These are what I just put, which should be links to a different page. So in the head, it looks like the only thing different is this title, which I'm guessing comes from Meta. Okay. And it looks like export function meta is probably what's being injected there, where the meta title is new Remix app. That makes sense. Links we don't have currently in the HTML, and we don't have any links. We don't have anything here that tells us much. Outlet, restoration, and scripts. So looking at the body now, we've got the link that I added to posts. We've got some div with welcome to Remix, unordered list, links. Okay, guessing these are going to be some JSX components. Outlet, scroll restoration, and scripts. Oh, so those are going to be based on, okay, so I think outlet is probably coming from the routes. So because this is technically, the routing is based on folder-based routing, and this is the index route, this would represent like the home page. And sure enough, here is our code that we see in the browser in the body, right here. That's this component right here, or this component, or this code. This HTML corresponds to that component that we were just looking at. Let's bump that up so you can see it. So then the other thing here is we have a bunch of scripts down here. Some of them are module preload. And I have some more, my other link down there. Okay, so let's close that. Basically, outlet I'm guessing, is the content of the routes or the routing stuff. Scroll restoration, I have no idea. And then scripts and live reload are going to be my scripts that are programmatically added to the page. All of these things. We'll get to it eventually. Cool. Kind of figured that out. Let's keep going. So it wanted me to add this link to the root. You can put it anywhere you like. You might want to just delete everything that's there. Either way, I'm also going to have to import link, which I didn't. Classic Austin, jumping ahead without reading the docs. So back to the browser, go ahead and click the link to posts. 404 not found. That's really nice that it handles the 404 error messaging for us and doesn't just show a blank white page. Okay, so all of the styles are coming from some predefined 404 template. That's interesting that that's two different strings. Probably, yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Okay. So we clicked the link. We got the 404 page. We've not created this route yet. Let's create the route now. So I can copy that. I hate that Windows doesn't support multi-tabs, so whatever. I'm going to create that. And then I don't want that. I actually want that to be JSX. And then we'll do run dev again. Anytime you see the terminal commands to create files or folders, you can, of course, do that however you'd like. Using makedir and touch is a way for us to make it clear which files you should be creating. Okay. Okay, we could have named it just posts.tsx or JSX if you don't want to use TypeScript. But we'll have another route soon, and it'll be nice to put them by each other. Okay, friends living together happily. Okay, cool. So let's do this. Our JSX, our posts index file is going to export that. We hit save. I really need to get a ESLint rule for JSX. If we reload, now we see posts. Cool, and we always see posts because that's in the root template, so it's always going to be there. It's not part of the outlet. Interesting. So it'd be cool if we wanted to do like a header or footer components that are omnipresent. Okay, you might need to refresh the browser to see your new bare bones posts route. Yes. Loading data. I mean, I guess let's walk through this together for this first stream, and then I'm not going to be loading any data for the Worldle clone, but it'll be good to walk through this together, I suppose. Although I guess you could walk through this yourself. Okay, so let's see. So in posts, we're going to replace everything with what we have here. Hit save. Check out the browser. Browser doesn't look any different. It looks like, well, of course, I haven't changed any of my markup. So probably worth reading some of this. So this is actually one of the things that I'm going to call out, because this is what really interests me about Remix, is that in Remix, your front-end component is also its own API route. I'm guessing that just referring to routing components. And it already knows how to talk to itself on the server from the browser. That is, you don't have to fetch it. Cool. Okay. Loaders are the backend API for their component, and it's already wired up for you through use loader data. A little wild how blurry the line is between client and the server in Remix route. Yes, I agree. But that's also what makes it cool. So, okay. This part's going to be a little bit different. So technically we're loading our data, but we're not actually using it yet. So in our posts, we want to create that list. Okay. So that's why it was worth checking out before. If we go to the browser and check out the console, yeah, we get to see that on the client side, we are seeing this console log of the posts, which is part of this rendering function. And on the server side, we are also seeing that console log, which is super cool that we're running the same logic client side and server side. Probably not something we always are going to want to do, but it is really nice that it's available on server side and then also on client side. I'm sure that they have a solution to do just server side and just client side stuff. Exciting. Okay, so now we've got our list that we're linking to. Our list is rendering. We do have access to those posts, which means on the server side, we're building this out. We can confirm that by looking looking at the source code and seeing, yep, somewhere in there is our div with our h1 of title. Let's see if I can bump that up so everyone can see. Maybe a couple more times. Jeez, there we go. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so we've got our div with our h1 of titles of posts, and then our ul with our li linking to the post that we have. The markup is not so important. The important thing is that this is a view source tab. So when I right click and I view the page source, it's going to open in a different browser tab, and it's going to show me what is actually sent across from over the wire from the server. So this is different than if we inspect element. This is what the browser is currently rendering to the DOM. It's not necessarily what was sent by the browser or created on the server side. We can show that by saying document dot body dot inner HTML equals I love Nugget. Okay, and you see how this JavaScript ran, and we replaced the body of the HTML. So this is not what was sent from the server. The server doesn't know anything about how much I love my dog. But we do see it in the DOM when we inspect element, because that's what the client-side JavaScript has replaced the DOM with. All this to say that inspect element is not the same as view source. Cool. So we reload. We see the original source. We can do it through inspecting the network requests and looking at the response. The preview shows the rendered server-side built HTML. The actual response shows the markup. Just another way to check it out without necessarily viewing source. Okay. Where were we? So we're supposed to be loading some data, right? This is saying something about TypeScript being mad and trying to make TypeScript happy. We're not using TypeScript, and ESLint is already angry with me, so that's one thing. But we'll go ahead and follow along with the tutorials with JS docs. So we're going to say, oops. At type something. Whoa, what do you... this is going to be a type of post, I believe. And we're going to have these guys in there. Cool. Oh, type def. Okay. Type definition of a slug and a title. They're both strings. That's a post. And then posts. What is this? Okay, we want to define posts equals that. And in here, we're going to return posts. Which we can say type equals, no, type is an array of post types. Okay, that looks like it matches pretty well. That returns a post. So posts equals that. So this part, I'm not sure how to do with JS doc. So let's see if I can say, yeah, you know, it's interesting that they even do the type definitions here. Like, why do you need this? I'm sure there's a reason. So posts equals, let's see, type is going to be import. No, I guess we can do use loader data of posts. Posts is, that's not quite right. No, that's a function. I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't just do the same thing down here. So let's comment that out. Use data loader, takes a type of any and returns probably the type that you pass in. I'm not sure how to do that with JSDoc. I'm sure that there's a way, because there must be a way. In the meantime, I'm going to try and add some type definition here. And because I know it's just going to be that, I don't see why we don't just do this. I mean, that seems a lot easier if you ask me, and we get the same result. But okay. Okay, cool. Little refactoring. So jump to some type definition stuff there for a moment. A solid practice is to create a module that deals with a particular concern. In our case, it's going to be reading and writing posts. Let's set that up now and add a get posts export to our module. Okay. So app, inside of app, we want to build a file called post.js. It's going to have this code in it. I'm actually going to copy that from there and replace that. Type def is post. Okay. Looks like we're probably going to be copying a lot of this stuff. think that needs to be LF. I don't know why it does that. That's weird. My JS docs likes when my functions are functions are defined. I don't know why I need that, but that's fine. Okay. Update the post route to use our new post module. Okay. Now this is going to be, I wonder if this will work. No, it's not going to know what that is. I would probably be able to work that out if I was added this paths thing to my TS config. But in the meantime, I'm just going to hard code it, I think. Don't need you. Okay. That's weird. It usually auto suggests my types for me. I think that should work. It's saying post is type of any. And get posts. Right, because I didn't set that up yet. Values declared. Ah, this is not the right route. Why is it not auto-suggesting that for me? I don't know. But let's continue on with this example, not get too into the minutia. Okay, cool. So the loader is going to return a function that calls, or the response from get posts. I don't know why the loader couldn't just be get posts, but that's fine. Maybe because it receives certain parameters that's going to be different than get posts. Okay. Pulling from data source. Okay, so let's make sure that everything's working. Reload, our posts are still coming in, which means we've certainly done this right. Get posts is working. I'm doing a sanity check that okay, that shouldn't have worked. Something's not working right. Am I in the right folder? Yes, this is my routes. That's my posts. I'm going to the posts route. And in my posts routes, is that actually even changing? Yes, it is. Something's funny about this. Let's go to posts and let's just return nothing. Okay. Bizarre. Quite bizarre. Why does this work? I have no idea why this works. This should not work. This should go into the routes and posts should be undefined. I feel like I'm fighting a Mega Man boss. Kind of. It's a little bit jazzier than Mega Man. And now it's done. Oh, whoa, sorry. People have been talking to me. I haven't even been paying attention. Vor and go. Vey, FYI. Glad you're here. Sorry, I've been ignoring you. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why this get posts function is actually working. It shouldn't be working because this route shouldn't exist. It's so bizarre. That's all right. We're just gonna keep on moving. Okay, so checking out remix run. Okay, so we want to actually pull it from the local file system. Normally we'd be using a database, but we're just going to do the file system. So create a post folder in the root of the project. So in my project root, we're going to go posts and my first post. And then the 90s mixtape. And let's see, front matter, the first post. And second post, 90s mixtape. Thanks for hanging out with me, people, because this is something that you could totally just be doing on your own. But, you know, maybe you're here for the commentary or my witty jokes and puns. Okay, npm add front matter. npm add. Shouldn't be npm install. Or yarn add? Looks like it's working. I don't know the difference between add and install. Maybe it's just an alias. Okay, we don't need these. Don't need that. And we're going to go in posts.js. We're going to fix that. Post.js. We're going to, fix that. Okay, these are pulling from Node. That makes sense. Thank you, ESLint, for fixing that for me. And then I'm going to just copy this and trust that this works because it's a tutorial after all. So, okay, made some small changes. Do not use dir name. Prefer module. Okay. Not going to worry about that now. Now, the other thing that I'm finding kind of interesting here is I feel like dir name should not actually be available inside of ES modules. And this is, it's not a type of module, but it is, I guess it's common JS, and then there's some magic that Remix is doing under the hood to be able to parse import and export statements. Little mystery there. This isn't a Node file system tutorial, so you just have to trust us on the code. If you did not use the Remix app server, you'll probably need to add an extra ... on the path. Okay, I'm not sure. Here. Right, because this is in post, which means it should be going up into the root. Yeah, you should be able to get that. My posts folder. That should work just fine. TypeScript is going to be mad at the code. Let's make it happy. I don't know. I don't have TypeScript yelling at me yet, but all right, let's follow along. We'll add tiny invariant. And then post markdown attributes. We're going to do that in the JS doc way by saying at type def okay. It's an object with a title. I don't think this is quite right. I think this should be an object like that. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's the same function is valid attribute, goes down here. Take attributes of type any. This time that's going to be any. And it returns. This is some syntax I do not understand, but that should be in the returns. I wonder if that works just fine like that. Attributes. I'm not sure. I think it should be just like that. It's fine. Post markdown attributes is what type it returns. If there are attributes, then it returns the title. And then we have this function here. Which my code looks a little different. The attributes, files to string. So I believe this will throw an error. Invariant here will throw an error if this is not valid. Or not truthy. So if this is falsy, invariant here is going to throw an error and it's going to use this message. Okay, which means that our build step won't work essentially. Or not our build step, our markdown file processing step. Okay, back in the UI, you should see a list of our posts. Now it should be reading from please rename that. Should be reading from this folder and pulling these things out. And it's not because could not resolve front matter. Did I not install that? Okay, could not install node path or node promises. So that's interesting because these should be built into Node. wonder if it's complaining because this is prefixed like that, which means I'm going to have to ignore that. So now if we restart, it seems to have fixed the problem. So that's interesting that in a Node app that would have worked. And in Remix, the prefixing with the Node colon syntax does not work. I don't know why. Good to know, though. Okay, so it looks like we're pulling in the links. This should be pulling from our file system now. So if I delete, let's see, if I move that down here and we reload, we only see the one that's the 90s mixtape, which is cool. If we put it back and we reload, we get it there again. Cool. Now we've got the dynamic route params. Instead of creating a route for every single one of your posts, we can use a dynamic segment in the URL. Remix will parse and pass to us so we can look up the post. Right, and that's because currently in my posts index file, no, that is running dynamically. And this is returning the slug dynamically. So let's see what they have to say about this. So app routes posts. Oh, right. So here the reason is because when we go to our application, these links are not going to work. 404 not found, of course, 404 not found, which means if we wanted it to work, we could make a template with the slug of 90s mixtape. But we don't want to do that. We want it to just be any format. What's up, y'all? I'm going to get active in the chat now. Maybe folks have something to say. Oh, we got some fun beats now. Where was I? That's right. I need to get back in the zone. All right, so we need to create a post/slug thing, right? So I want it to be $slug.jsx, I think. $slug, yep, tsx. We're going to do that. Paste that in there. So now if we go to our mixtape, we see some post, which corresponds to our HTML. Cool. Man, I'm only like halfway through this. And I'm almost done with the stream. So anyway, we're having fun. Okay, cool. This is my file. I'm just going to replace all this. It looks like we are creating a loader that asynchronously gets some parameters, and that's going to get the param slug. So, okay, we're going to use loader data, which I still don't quite understand what that's doing. I wonder if that's just going to be magic. Sure enough, it's going to be some magic. So that's somehow. Oh, no, use loader data. Right. So use loader data is taking the information that's coming from this loader that I have here. I'm not sure why that has to be asynchronous. or how this loader is getting the post information. Okay, so here we're linking to the post slug with a post title, but we're not really passing data into this link. Well, we are passing some data into this link component, but this link component actually has nothing to do with this slug post slug component. So I'm not sure how these loaders work. I probably need to read up on that. Or I probably just like skimmed right past it. Let's go back to this loading data. Data loading is built into Remix. Yes. We're going to continue skimming. It doesn't actually explain how any loader is a function that returns data which is provided through the useLoader hook. Okay, fair enough. But what I want to know is, what is this params? Dynamic route params. Is that all right? This params doesn't make sense to me. That's kind of annoying. If anyone out there knows, hit me up on Twitter or on the next live stream. I might jump over here and take a look and see if I can understand. No, I'll read this off the stream. I'll get back. Well, let's finish up. Okay. We only have like 7 minutes, so. Right, we got our thing showing. Let's get some help from TypeScript for the loader function signature. Okay, the part of the file name attached to the $sign becomes a named key on the params object that comes into your loader. This is how we'll look up our blog posts. Hope that makes sense to you. Okay, we're going to do this thing again. This is a loader function. No, this returns. Loader is a loader function. Right? Loader equals async. Right. Params. Okay, so we are getting some data here that because loader is a loader function, params is something of type string, or params is a params object where the keys or the values are type strings. Sure. Let's actually read post from the file system. Add a get post function to our post module. Have I not been reading from the file system? I have been reading from the file system. Okay. I don't know why it's saying none of this has changed, because I think in theory we should have a get posts And we should have a get post, which is a function that takes a parameter of type string and returns, a promise with an object that resolves to an object of slug and title. Okay. The new get post function. Cool. Nope, not here. Oh, right. This doesn't actually need to be here. This is going to be... This is now complaining. I've broken everything. All right, I'm gonna have to... No, it's working. Yeah, that's still working. Cool. Okay, where were we? We want to bring this guy in. Get posts from, and I don't have that set up yet, so I think we need to do it that way. And we have this check. Oops. Which I think was... No, that's in my loader. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, my loader does that. It has this invariant thing, which we need to add right there. Then it returns get post. Okay. I think that's working. That was the slug, which we no longer want. We want the full post. And in that full post, we want this post title. Fingers crossed that all worked. It looks like it did. We have our post. If we go back to post, I can go to my first post, and that's working correctly. All right, I'm going to call it there. This has been interesting. There are some things that I need to work on to get, my ESLint from yelling at me. I think I just need to enable some JSX stuff. And the only thing that gets me is I still don't know how this loader is using these params. So the data for the component is coming from useLoader. useLoader is automatically grabbing that data from the exported constant loader, which is a function. And whatever it returns is going to be available to useLoader data. But the part that doesn't make sense is what these params are, how these params are figured out. I guess maybe we'll figure that out by next time. Anyway, thanks for stopping in. I hope that this was enjoyable. I know that I'm just running through some install steps that anyone could be, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. The next episodes are going to be more interesting, where we actually get into building the Worldle clone. No remix is not necessary to run this, but it's a good practice for me to try something I've never used before. Yep, that's it. Thanks again, and see you next time.